Arsenal Fan TV America, welcome back from the Pacific Northwest, USA. Thank you very much for all the new subscribers. Welcome to our channel. What are we going to talk about today? What are we going to cover? Oof. Yeah, I know there's not a whole lot of football, but there's a whole lot of rumors. There's a whole lot of people moving from a club to another. So we're going to touch base here and there in Europe, of course, and we're going to talk about Arsenal and the most exciting, in my eyes, as an Arsenal signing. We're going to talk about that a little bit towards the end of the show. But hey, don't forget, subscribe, like, and share. Now, the most exciting news, of course, this week is that Declan Rice, as we announced in the past episode, is going to have a medical here to join your beloved Arsenal Football Club. And to follow that also, JURRIEN TiMBER from Ajax Amsterdam. And of course, these two are following the £65 million transfer already for Kai Havertz. A lot of movement for Mikel Arteta. Lots of players going out. Today, we say goodbye to one of our best players that's ever played for this club. One of our best leaders. A club legend in my eyes. The best player last year or last season. I really feel sad to see someone like Granit Xhaka go away from Arsenal and play somewhere else. He's going to Bayer 04 or Bayer Leverkusen, that is in Germany. And that's also a move that he wanted to do for his family. That's what it was said. But again, I hated to see him leave. He's not that old yet. He's right at 30, so he's still got football in him. 21, 22 million pounds the move is set to be. And that's nothing for someone like Granit Xhaka. So long for Granit Xhaka. Thank you for everything you've given to this very football club. Now, of course, as you all know, Declan Rice is part of that because he's already announced. So now Granit can go. There's also Thomas Partey that came out and said now, I prefer to go to Juventus. Thomas Partey was contacted. His agent was contacted from the Saudi Arabia government and club. And they wanted to sign a long contract with him. Thomas Partey's still young. He could still give. He's a very dynamic midfielder. And I think that he's got, still 30 years old, so he's got at least 4 years or 5 years of solid football. The Ghanaian international we saw last year for Arsenal, he was incredible. He didn't want to go to Saudi Arabia yet. He didn't want to exit, the European football now. So he said, no, I wanted to stay. And he prefers to go to Juventus. Yep, he wants to maybe play with Pogba, Allegri and whatnot. But he is a great footballer, like I said. And I would hate to see him go. But, of course, with the departure of Partey, you're going to have to fill in this midfield. Reports are saying that Kai Havertz will be playing for Arsenal in the middle. I'm not sure. Maybe he can. We have to see that. Maybe he can develop into that. He's got speed. He's got strength. He's got that Grotzke, Bayern Munich midfielder or Germany's midfielder body and strength. But I'm not sure that is going to be his preferred, place. Maybe he wants to be a winger. Maybe he wants to drift. Yes, you got Martinelli, Bukayo Saka, you got Trossard. Maybe he wants to be in the front. Gabi Jesus not acting or not performing to a top Premier League striker last year. He didn't. So maybe someone else can do that with him for now. We don't know. But again, Mikel Arteta is looking to just strip that midfield, the old one, and get a new one. How long will it take the new ones to get to play together? Now you go to Moises Caicedo to Brighton, and you want to get him because now you got Declan Rice. You got Martin Odegaard. He's not going to go to Manchester United, hopefully. And that's why I'm hearing also that he shut that down. Great on the captain, Arsenal's captain, to right away shut these things down. So he's not going to Man United. He's staying. For now, it's him, Partey, and Declan Rice. That would be very strong. But if Partey goes, Arsenal looking at Caicedo. But Caicedo, hold on. Brighton says, no, you guys just bought Declan Rice for 105 million. They didn't want to announce that yet, 100%, because there is Caicedo in the works. So they didn't want Brighton to say what Brighton is saying now, basically, which is, hey, if Declan Rice is worth 105 million, then Caicedo is worth 100 million. And you had Arsenal, you could pay. Arsenal already spent how much? 200 million. 34 on Timber from Ajax. Said no to Eric Ten Hag. Love it. You got to love it. And, of course, the 65 million for Kai Havertz. And now the 105 for Declan Rice. So 200 million they spent. But they're still going. Going for who? Who else? For everybody. You hear the news about Mbappe. Mbappe is not happy at PSG. There's problems. Why? Or what's happening? Here's what PSG just did. They went to Mbappe, said, Kylian, you got two options. Option A is to sign a long-term deal, whatever it is that you want. We'll take care of you and stay with us and this subject. Option B, if you don't do that, we're going to sell you. We're going to sell you to the highest bidder. Who's the highest bidder? Who's the best when it comes to negotiation, relationships between clubs? All that works. But the third option that Mbappe wants, that PSG is not giving, is for him to stay and see out his contract till next year, because in that contract, it states that he will get paid 150 million just by seeing out, or, seeing the whole entire contract, or staying through the whole entire contract. So that's 150 million in his pocket. But we all know Real Madrid can splash the cash. They did it before. They could do it again from 100 to 200 to 250 to whatever. They want Mbappe. And my opinion is they might have him. But hold on to your horses. Don't talk about Mbappe at Arsenal, but talk about Mbappe at Arsenal. Mbappe at Arsenal is a possibility? Why not? I'm going to tell you why not. Here's a quick story for you. When we read in the news that Liverpool were bidding for Mbappe and they wanted to give players plus money. Of course, players, they don't have good enough players to give for Mbappe, but they wanted to also pay some money with it. But the money was really hideous, like 20, 40 million, something like that. And everybody laughed about Jurgen Klopp. Well, hey, listen, that didn't happen. That was just somebody playing around. That did not happen. But it did happen now, right? For real, that Liverpool are bidding for Mbappe. And they said that we wanted to go and chase his signature. He's for sale, and why not? But guess what? Mbappe said, it was claimed that Mbappe said that his preferred place, if he's ever going to go to Premier League, is Arsenal Football Club. So that's a big, big possibility for us. And listen, that's a game changer. Why not? We have the second most valuable squad in the world. Why not? We have the history. 1886 Arsenal Football Club. We have the history. We just need the Champions League. So we can invest in a player like Mbappe that, with the squad like what we're trying to put together now, it can get you somewhere. Can maybe win you a Champions League or Premier League. I'm happy with either as an Arsenal fan. But those are the real signings that we should go after. Kylian Mbappe, I would love to see him wearing an Arsenal shirt. But why not? We'll see how his future is going to pan out. Because again, Real Madrid, they're holding on. Everybody else is trying to bid for him. Everybody else is trying to get him to play for their club. And of course, rightfully so. He's unbelievable and he's still young. French attacker. Best French attacker in the world. Young also. Let's go to another French player. Stay with Real Madrid. Talking about who, in my eyes, would be the best signing that Mikel Arteta is ever going to have in his whole entire career. A game changer. His name is Aurelien Tchouameni, one of the best midfielders in world football today. He is, to me, a Claude Makélélé. Somebody that is going to be in this position, rising and shining for France and from whatever club he plays for forever. Because he's that caliber. The young man is just amazing. So the talks now that Jude Bellingham goes to Real Madrid and Toni Kroos still signs, and then Modric still there, and Dani Ceballos signs, they have oversaturated their midfield. So now maybe they're looking to offload one, and I know that, or learned that from a Spanish newspaper, that Tchouameni had a bid from Arsenal by Mikel Arteta. Very, very exciting. Hopefully this is really what's happening, and hopefully this is what they're talking to Real Madrid about. Real Madrid won £70 million for Tchouameni. I say if Declan Rice is 105, hey, I'm sound like Brighton now, then Tchouameni is 120. Listen, he is fantastic. I don't know for a fact that Real Madrid will let him go, but for Real Madrid maybe to raise money for Mbappe, Tchouameni goes. How about if we get Tchouameni on Mbappe? Hey, don't get too excited. Of course, we all could dream, and if this dream come true, you could dream of Champions League football, you could dream of Premier League, you can dream of a whole lot. On a sad notice, Balogan, the American international superstar Arsenal player that did great in Ligue 1 last year. In France, he was on loan, as we all know, to Rennes, and he was the third best goal scorer in the French league after who? Mbappe and Lacazette. So Balogan now is talking to Chelsea. Arsenal wants 50 million. Of course, Arsenal are getting all these players. They're selling Xhaka. They're saying they want to sell Partey for 30. They sold Xhaka for 20. That's 50 here. They want 50 now for Balogan. They want money. They want 100 to go get Tchouameni, to get bid on Mbappe, to go, do some business. And hey, Edu's doing a good job, to be honest with you. He's trying in every direction. And I hear great names are linked with Arsenal Football Club, so you can't deny it. Of course, a lot of money, but that's just today's world. And, again, we see what Man City are doing. So, hey, let's go for it. Let's get them all as much as we can. And hey, listen, I'm sad to see real good players leave. We could still build on the midfield. It was my opinion that we needed to buy more midfielders or add, like Declan Rice, leave what we have. Tchouameni, of course, on the horizon, get him. And then an attacker, someone who's a goal scorer, someone who can attack, someone who you can put all the money and score. Because you got Haaland. You're competing with Haaland and an Mbappe of the world and, and Vinicius Jr. You have to have that finisher up front that's just lethal. And we don't have that in Arsenal. Martinelli is developing to be that, but we still don't have that, prolific, the consistency of that striker that can just score every single game. A lot of excitement, lots of news. Arsenal Football Club, stay tuned, stay with us here from the USA, Pacific Northwest. Your beloved Arsenal Fan TV America. Again, thanks you for all these comments, wonderful comments. We appreciate it very much. We learn a lot from your comments, and we'll see you next episode. Do not forget to subscribe, and like, and share.